Hey, welcome to another episode of the Late Grind. We are here today to talk about one of the uh, master grinders, right, Gabe?
Yeah, some big names are gonna
Elon Musk.
be
Elon
mentioned
Musk.
today.
Elon Musk is going to be our neighbor soon. He's moving to Austin.
Right.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. Uh, why the reasons why the media say he's going to move here. Everything
Mhm.
that's pointing to him moving here. The reasons why. Uh, just talk a bit about that in general. Let's see what we can learn from it.
We're gonna have him for episode 50 with us. Have
Yeah,
some coffee, and
that's our
he's gonna
goal.
bring
Yeah,
his kid.
that's our goal.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun.
All right. So uh, Elon Musk, it says here on a news article by KVUE, which is the ABC
Mhm.
local station. It says on December 8th that he confirmed that he's moving to Texas.
Right.
Confirmed this on an interview with the Wall Street Journal. Even though he didn't mention Austin, everything points that he's going to move to Austin, to the capital city, uh, in the next few months. And before this all happened, some of the things that pointed to this happening was that he chose Austin as the place where he was going to build a gigafactory, one of the biggest factories of Tesla products, mainly batteries and cars as well. That's going to employ around 5,000 people. So that's one of the things that where people started, rumoring that he was going to move here, and
Mhm.
construction already started on that beast. It's going to take about
Awesome.
2,000 acres of land. So yeah, it's a huge
But
investment.
I think I heard somewhere that even he moved to Texas. He bought a house and moved his family to Texas. So seems
Yeah,
to be for the long run, you know.
yeah. So one
Oh,
of the reasons
yeah.
why people like him, are choosing to move their companies or part of their operations to Texas. Mainly, it's because you don't have income tax. It's
Hmm.
one of the states that you don't get taxed on your income at the state level. You still have to pay obviously federal taxes. So, but he's gonna save a lot of money on his salary, even though he claims to make uh, little money as a salary per year. But definitely, he's gonna save a lot of money. And we see
Hmm.
company like Oracle, um, HP, they're moving their operations to Texas as well. So it's a trend that's been going on for years. Google, Facebook, they're already here in Austin as well.
Hmm.
So what do you think about that, Gabe? What do you think about that move?
What I think about it, well, it's exciting to be where they are going to be. It's. I think it gives us a lot of things to talk about, but also like seeing why they're moving. Says a lot too. Like not only why they choose Texas and Austin primarily, but why they're leaving their state. Like they're leaving most of them Silicon Valley in Cali, and a lot of them actually they have been saying they want to do the move, but it's interesting to see how COVID made them decide is now's the time to move. Like I read somewhere that many of them are complaining that Cali was negligent. You know, and they were complaining about mismanagement with the COVID thing, and restrictions were affecting them too much. They were not only they were more than just being for safety reasons, right? They were complaining that these restrictions were affecting them in many ways, and moving to Texas was a safer thing to do. So I think that's interesting too, like how different states have been dealing with the COVID thing and how it's affecting the way all this multimillionaire companies work, right? I think I lost you there, man. Can't hear you. Sounds like you're muted or something.
Oh, can you hear me now?
There you
All
go.
right.
Now, yeah,
Good.
now.
Awesome. So yeah, there's definitely a
I
huge.
missed whatever you were saying. You were saying something really important, and I missed it.
Yeah, I'll repeat it, no problem. Uh, it's a trend that's been going on for a couple of years now, where people are moving from this expensive states to less expensive areas, and then the pro is that they bring economy, they bring jobs, they bring obviously the whole baggage of having just the name of those tech brands in the city, but then also they bring with that higher real estate prices. It becomes a market where it's a seller's market.
Right. So now it's
People
going to
have
be
more
expensive.
money in their hands. Yeah. So I was talking to somebody a few months ago. Then he said, people come from California and they have money in their pockets, and they have, for example, 500K to buy a house, a very decent house in California. But then in Austin, for example, or in the areas near Austin, you could buy a couple of houses, decent houses, in the suburbs for that amount.
Right.
And even you can like buy to rent or as an investment. But for 500K, you can get a pretty decent house that in California you couldn't afford. So
Right.
that's
So,
definitely it.
do you think? I mean, that's convenient for them. But do you think it's gonna end up being a problem, like everything becoming more expensive and being less convenient for people that already live in Austin? What do you think?
Yeah,
Is
it's
gonna
gonna
be the
push. It's gonna have both sides. It's gonna push out a
right?
lot of people that have been living here for long, because that means property taxes rise as well. So even though you finish paying your house, you're still paying property taxes every year. So this all has a chain effect that everyone that lives here is going to feel it at some point. But it's interesting, to be here and see all those moves. It tells you, also at a macro level, how the CEOs, these entrepreneurs are thinking. Right, they are saving money. That's period. Yes, they have a quite better quality of life, maybe, but I think it's mostly financial. That's the main reason
Right.
why they are
Right.
making these moves.
Now, I have never been to California, so I don't know weather-wise and environment-wise was it the difference. But you tell me, like, do you think it's a big change or it's kind of the same thing, the same deal?
Well, I've been to Cali shortly on one trip. Didn't see much, but it's obviously a huge state, and since it's all around, it has a huge coastline, so it's different. In the south,
Right.
it's hotter, it's more humid, and then in the northern California, there's obviously a lot of beautiful
Right.
places. But one thing that I've seen, I have a couple of friends that have moved from California to Texas, and they say that they prefer, obviously, the California weather and the coast being so close to where they were, because in Texas in the summer it gets hot. So.
Right. Well, at least we don't have a lot of snow in Austin, so they won't be with that, meeting that challenge at least.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah. All right. So other companies that are moving with, as Elon Musk is moving some Tesla things to Austin. We have Hewlett Packard too. They are moving to Houston. That's another big name, right?
Oh yeah.
We have Oracle. That's a big one too. They're moving to Austin as well. Man, it's a lot of big names.
Yeah, the CEO of Dropbox, also I read, is moving to Houston, I think. So yeah, people are moving, making big moves. At this.
Oh, yeah, Drew Houston. I saw him there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you think this is going to affect us? Like, not only Texas and industries here, but TLG, BARD. How is this going to positively affect us? What do you think?
Well, for example, Elon Musk is a loudmouth. He is very vocal on Twitter, and he
Mhm.
speaks his mind. So everyone relates every tweet that he does with his lifestyle. So obviously, if he lives in Cali, there's going to be references to Cali. So when he moves to Austin, there's going to be a lot of references to Austin now, which is going to just increase the searches, the responses, what people are saying about Austin. So it's going to get, not every business is going to be on the map now, but by means of referral, people are going to be talking more about Austin than ever before. So
It's going to increase some traffic towards
yeah,
Austin, right?
it's definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, we can always benefit from that.
yeah,
All right. Well, I think it's interesting. I think we are in the right place, the right time. Also, with the right mindset. I think we share a lot of things with this. I mean, we can't compare these huge companies to at least the podcast, right?
right,
But the whole subject of tech, of entrepreneurship, of you know a modern take on business. I think it's something we can all benefit from, and having all these people now close to us and sharing the same floor in a way. It's going to be
definitely,
good for the podcast. I mean, we'll have probably more information, more firsthand information to talk about, more
right,
firsthand news to talk about. Who knows? If we were able to meet with any of these guys, at least for 15 minutes, right, and interview them, hear them out in a more intimate, personal way. That's going
yeah.
to be interesting to see how it's going to evolve.
Yeah, definitely. Chances of that increase a lot when people are closer to your base,
Mhm.
where you are, and also, they inspire a lot of people. They have a lot of followers. So definitely a lot more entrepreneurs at when they're starting up, they're going to be moving here. A lot of startup companies uh,
Yeah.
are soon to follow, especially companies that are going to serve because they're for example, Tesla is bringing their gigafactory here, but then you need suppliers to supply them with things, and you need personnel support that's going to provide their employers or employees with services as well. So the whole community around them is going to be impacted one way or the other. So you're going to have more chances of people creating companies, creating software, creating solutions for the new problems that arise.
Mhm.
Infrastructure wise, if a city doesn't have the infrastructure in place to hold more people that come in, that's also a problem that needs to be fixed. So it's a challenge, but it's definitely, it's poised to create more solutions, and more problem solvers are going to be putting their attention to Austin now, definitely.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool when you read about Austin. They always mention that it's a very outdoorsy city. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of tech. I just think it's funny how we have both both things happening at the same time. Very outdoorsy, very rural in a way,
Yeah,
organic, and then we have all the tech, and things are very modern. Um, I think it's beautiful. I like it.
yeah. It's a whole vibe of the city. It's very laid
Right.
back. First time I came to visit, I went to like 5 or 6 food places, cafeterias, and everyone was uh, with slippers on, with their
Right.
laptops on, coding. In the park, people are just sometimes working there.
Mhm.
So it's very outdoorsy and tech, because it's a relaxed kind of environment. Every uh, it's Friday 3:20 p.m. Most of the tech workers are not coding right now. They're off already. They're taking off.
Having beer right now, having IPAs right now, and
Yeah.
right.
So it's
Awesome.
kind of the vibe you get
Now,
here.
do you think that will change once we have so much more volume of enterprises? Um, that whole chill, that vibe of like relaxing, chilling. Do you think that will change or not?
It depends. Like if the city grows, like if you get more buildings and more people and more cars, because Austin is a very car dependent city, uh,
Mm.
and they're talking about building a underground subway system for the downtown
Cool.
area as well.
Nice.
So if you start packing up a city, it's going to get busier. And you see New York City, you see LA, and
Right.
people are busy. They're not laid back. So
Dallas has that other vibe, right? It's more business. It's more
big city vibe.
fast-paced.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. I think if it grows to the point where it's not as laid back as before, it might change their identity. But Austinites are very proud of keeping Austin weird. That's the motto.
Right.
So
Right.
there's going to be a
Well,
battle. It's going to be a battle. It probably won't change as easy as we think.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right.
All right. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Late Grind, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.